Just when you thought you couldn't get any worse, it is glued in. That is literally just glued on. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we got an absolute knee slapper for you. This one is going to be off the walls. This is the original roll cage that I had put into my car back in 2020. As you can see here, it's currently a half cage, but it was originally a full cage. So strap in, grab a brew, because this is going to be a good one. So kicking things off. Damn! This one's pretty shonky. This is down by the door crossbars. Yeah, not ideal. Not looking good so far. It's about to get a lot worse. Next up, we have the box sections.
No! God, please, no! No!
So as you can see, it's not really connected to the car. It's just sort of tack welded in. Yeah, I already know nothing else to really say about this. I think the picture does it justice. As you can see as well, the cage doesn't even tie into these spreaders. So yeah, these things are tiny. I think they're only about like maybe a 2-inch, not even that. I think it's like 1.5 inches box section that these things are. So yeah, they're not spreading nothing. The fun continues. This is basically an incomplete weld. At the time that he was doing the roll cage, he said, well, it's TIG welded, so it doesn't need to be a completed weld all the way around. I didn't know any different at the time. I was, fresh-faced 26-year-old that was just like, yeah, race car, I get to put a roll cage in my car, or whatever. But now I know that's not right, so yeah, you live and learn, right? Next up, some bird poo. As you can see here, it's completely all over the shop. It's been done very poorly. I don't even know what his excuse is on this one. I think he's just lost interest. So for this section, this is the essentially the airbag apron bit that goes along sort of by the side of your head. Or like in the roof liner. So as you can see, that would be really safe if I had a side impact. I'd be lucky to be alive. Again, I suppose it comes back to the whole incomplete thing though, about it being TIG welded. This is another look at the foot spreaders. So as you can see, they're tiny little boxes. This one was a little bit better than the other one, but it's still not very good. It's still tiny. It's still too small, and that would just collapse in a crash. More incomplete welds. And then last but not least, this is probably the worst of it. So this was covered by obviously a plate that you see there. He's just welded over the top to make it look like it's all the way welded. And drum roll, please. There we go. That's the extent of the welding. So it wasn't even welded. Don't make this mistake. Get someone that knows what they're doing. This is rubbish. You're paying all this money. Don't trust someone because they can do it cheaper. Use reputable people. Moving on now, let's get to the more positive part of the video. The new and improved, and how it should have been done originally, half roll cage. If you've been enjoying the video up until now and you want to see more content like this in the future, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Today is the day we pick up the cage. We are finally picking up the cage. We are all hooked up. Let's get it. All hitched up, ready to go. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing. This has been a long time in the making. We finally got it fixed. So yeah, let's get on the road. This next part of the video, I don't do a great deal of talking in person. I'm just kind of showing you around the car. This video has been a long time in the making. This first part of the roll cage being taken out was done around about 2 years ago, and the half cage was taken out about a year ago. Due to things getting in the way and things like that, like house moves and stuff like that, I never actually managed to get around to this for an entire year later. So the car was basically immobile for an entire year. With that being said, I'm super stoked with the result. John from Tyler Motorsport, you're a real one. Thank you so much for the support on this. And yeah, you've really knocked it out of the park on this one. So this is the morning after the pickup. I am absolutely buzzing. John has done a mega job. Jeez! You'll be able to see probably from some of my old pictures how much of a mess this area was. It's just the attention to detail. It's absolutely spot on. It's what it should have paid for from the beginning. Got the pros to do, but yeah, absolutely buzzing. Got the harness hoops as well, little harness bar area, so they don't slide off or move too much, which is great. But yeah, Absolutely stoked. This is sort of the car I wanted from the beginning, but I obviously didn't get it the first time round. So if you don't succeed, try again, and all that motivational stuff. But yeah, I'm buzzing. So we're going to mask everything off, give it a clean, mask it off, and then slowly but surely start piecing it back together. Get it all sprayed up. Headliner's in. Headliner's in as well. So headliner in. You have to be a bit careful with spraying and not go too mental with that. But yeah, I think this should be all in the prep. All in the prep. We'll get it looking good. We'll get it sprayed up. And yeah, before we know it, we're going to have a mint looking cage. I did a satin cage before and it looked good, but I think it's this is way too nice to not go the extra mile with it. I tried to have a go at primering the cage myself, and the primer actually didn't come out too bad. It went everywhere, including all over the boot, so it wasn't exactly the tidiest job. I've got to admit, at this point, I was sort of admitting defeat a little bit. I've sprayed bumpers and larger things like that, but roll cages are a whole different kettle of fish. These things are so difficult to do. You barely get any paint on the actual cage, and with it being winter, I needed to get this thing painted soon, so I had to pass it over to my buddy Nick. The first piece of the puzzle was taking out the side windows to make sure that we could get enough access to paint the full cage. Something I've learnt with my limited amount of experience with painting is it is all in the prep. As you can see, Nick did the full 9 yards. I knew I was in safe hands. Nick's got over, I think, 30 years of experience in painting. He's run workshops, he's done everything you can imagine, so I knew I was in safe hands. He's also had show-winning cars, so again, he was a perfectionist, and it really shows in the work that he does. So today is a very, very exciting day. We are picking up the roll cage. Picking up the roll cage, picking up the car with the newly painted roll cage. So up till now, you've obviously seen that it's just been bare metal, it's obviously been welded. But now my friend Nick, he has done a wicked job, and I'm going to go pick it up now. So, well, there we go. Okay. So we are off to go and pick up the Z4 with the new roll cage. We just got to my buddy Nick's. He's currently just going to pick up his kids, so yeah, we're just waiting outside his at the moment. I've had a little brief look at the cage, and it looks mad. This car I've had for about coming up to 8 years now, and when I first tried to put the first cage in, it was I had the car for about 3 years, so it's been coming on to now nearly 4 years since I first put the cage in, and I obviously wasn't very happy with it. And now we're at this phase where we're doing a second cage, and I'm so happy with the result. I'm so happy with the result. It's been a long time coming. The car is finally looking how I want it to look. So yeah, so I'm going to get it loaded up, and then I'll be taking it somewhere probably just with a bit better light, so I can get some good shots on the new cage. And so as for the colour of the cage, I've decided to go with the same colour as the car. So at the moment it's a very dark metallic green. I was going to be swayed with going with like a satin black or that sort of thing, but I sort of did that on the last one as like a rushed job, because the silver looked a bit rubbish and it just showed all of the poor welding. So decided to do that one black, and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to try the green, even if it is dark green, so if it does hide the detail then so but I just thought it would look best with the car, that it matches the colour of the body. I just think it looks a little bit better, so that's why I decided to go with this one, and it looks ace. So without further ado, new cage. I think this shows, like, even if your project is not going how you want it to go, persevering. It's not the car's fault if something goes wrong, or if the car breaks, obviously it is, but, you know, if you get someone that isn't up to doing the job, you pay them to do the job, and it doesn't turn out how you're expecting it to, sometimes sticking with a car that, you know, you've already invested quite a lot of money into is maybe the best option you've got. But anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate checking the channel out, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.